Hey guys, I'm John Garage, and I hate sharpening knives, or at least I used to until I found a way that even I, someone who typically would really dislike doing this, can actually do it without wanting to die. So before we get into the methodologies that I can use and you too can take, let's go over a couple things you can do if you really just don't ever want to mess with sharpening at all. You can get these little utility knives which flip out like one of the cool flippy dippy pocket knives. This is a Civivi one, which honestly is not my favorite, so let's just get that out of here. This one is one of my favorites. This is the O-Knife U1 Pro, and it flips out, and that's all well and good. And I guess let's bring this guy back over here. Opening the blade on this, getting the blade out of there is not as fun because you got to use like a Torx bit, and you might not always have that on you, but you're probably more likely to maybe have some sort of plier type tool. And this thing can just be removed with a little pair of pliers. Let me show you. Just take it, twist it, bam. It's loosened, take it out. So this is one way that you can get away with not having to sharpen your knives anymore, is you just replace the whole blade itself. Then you just hand tighten it a tiny bit, give it the final tighten, and bam, you're good to go. I bought like a 50 pack of these things. It'll last me my whole lifetime. It was like, I don't know, 10 bucks or so, but you know, now you can cut things like crazy. Wow, that's pretty sharp. Whereas this other one, well, let me reverse real quick. Whereas this other one, the blade that is, I doled up real nice for you because I'm going to show you a few examples of what you can do if you don't want to just swap out the blades for completely new ones, because you can sharpen them back up with minimal, very minimal effort, but we'll get to that in a second. Oh, let's put this away as well. Next up, we have the Outdoor Edge series of flippy dippy knives that have removable blades, and it's even easier than doing something with that thing over there because you just hit a button and then out slides the blade. You can get a pack of like 6 or 7 or 8 or more of these replaceable blades for like 10 bucks or so, and they last a good long while. To be honest with you, I haven't even swapped out the blades because of the method that I use, which means that I don't have to just use a whole new blade, but also don't have to put in a lot of work to get it sharp. But we'll get to that in a moment. But yeah, these are two of the best options where you can just replace the whole knife. I mean, unless you just want to go out and buy like a cheapo $15 knife every time it goes dull or something, but that seems even a little more wasteful than throwing out the blade entirely. You can get a lot of use out of these just by using something like this. It's a pull-through sharpener, and I'm sure some people would like to crucify me for recommending one of these things. And, you know, this comes with a huge disclaimer. You don't really want to use a pull-through sharpener on like most knives that you cherish, and that's just because apparently these can take off way more of the metal than you want, which leads to your knife wearing down more. It can make it like not cut as well, you know, like I don't know, all sorts of things. A lot of people really wig out when you talk about pull-through sharpeners, but you know, I'm in the camp of believing that using it with something like this, it's like, well, okay, if the blade gets screwed up completely, you have like 20 more blades you can use. Or, in this case, 50 more. So, you know, instead of having to carry these extra blades with you wherever you go in case like, oh God, something might get, it might not be sharp enough to do something, you can just carry something like this and pull it through and have the sharpness that you and I both desire. So I did pre-dole each one of these using this nice Next Tool Mini Sailor. Where is that friggin' thing? This nice Next Tool Mini Sailor file. I just basically took these and rubbed it across it like that for a little while until it would no longer cut paper no good. For instance, here's my old trusty Zabar's Expensive Coffee magazine. Oh no, it cuts a little bit, but just you wait, it'll soon be cutting like butter once again. So all of these are dull. I'll just show you. God, trust me, they're, oh my God, they're dull. Are you kidding? They're dull. They're dull. A sharp knife would just cut nice and clean. These are more like ripping and tearing it. God. So yeah, using this little guy, you can just take one of these and basically pull it through it a few times. I don't know if there's really any like specific technique for it or anything. I'm doing this in the air, so I'm not making the whole friggin' camera wobble. Might make you sick. It makes me sick to see it when I go back and edit things and I see the camera just wobbling all over the place. Makes me want to freak out. That's the problem of shooting down in my basement, where the camera tripod is attached to like this cheapo plastic table. It just isn't no good. Out in the garage where I cut my teeth on this channel, it's attached to this big old wooden butcher block type thing, and it doesn't go nowhere. It's not even if I slam my head into the table, which I typically do after each review. So I might have sharpened that too much. It might be too sharp now. I'm going to cut through the fabric of time as we do this. So let's show you how it goes. It's definitely sharper. God, you know, it would be helpful too if they would send me a new magazine, because this one has just been ravaged. Let's do a little demo here. So it's definitely sharper. And again, minimal effort. You just pull it through a bunch of times and there it goes. Let's do that with this now. So what I'm doing is I'm pulling it through the ceramic side. This side is like a carbide steel type thing. But you know what? Let's try that first. And I think this is the one that people start losing their minds over, because they're like, oh my God, it's just peeling the steel away from it. But again, this is a replaceable blade, so I care not. All right, got that all nice and done. Let's move over to the ceramic side. I mean, to the naked eye, it looks just fine. It's not destroyed or anything. Let's see if it'll destroy this paper, though. What have I done to this thing? This is almost unusable. Whoa. Maybe that's the way. Run it through the carbide part. Okay, we're gonna go back to the... Oh my God! Ah! Oh. See, typically I'd avoided trying to use the carbide steel side or whatever, because it was like, well, it's really gonna take the metal off. But, you know, sometimes I say, oh, I don't care, but deep down inside, I do. Sometimes I just try not to care as much, but it's easier said than done. Alright, did about, I don't know, 100 swipes. No, I'm kidding. It was like 5. It's been a week. Okay, let's go back to this now that I ran it through both of them. Let's try this part here. Oh. Oh. My God. I feel like I've just seen the light. That's way better than it was. Okay. We're gonna carbide it up every time then. Oh my God. Wow. So now let's try it with this thing. Which again is, you can't replace this blade, but I guess you can replace just the whole knife for 15 bucks. This time, nah, this is a different one I got. It's the same brand as this, Sharple. But you can use this for all sorts of things like garden shears and scissors, and I bought it to use with a hatchet that I have, but it works okay for the hatchet, but I don't know. I got this thing. That's all I need for knives, I think. Yeah, you know, you can just really tuck this thing away in your pants or your jacket or whatever you might have on you, a backpack, if you will, and then you'll know that you'll always have sharp knives, which might be a little ripped up and everything, but they're sharp enough to cut things. They might not shave your arm. Like some people like to test how sharp their knives are by giving themselves a nice arm shave. I love seeing that when they do that, because I just imagine them going around afterwards. I mean, I myself have done that as well. I go around and there are just these big patches like on my arm, like, you know, just no hair on them. Haven't done that for a bit because, I don't know. I kind of like having a cohesive mane of hair on my arms, I guess. If you have a patch there, it just breaks my heart. I don't know how many times I did that, but it was probably plenty. Let's find another page. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Seems like there's a spot that it's getting stuck on, so maybe let's just... I don't know if that's a good technique to use, but we'll see. Saves time. Oh. That's it, it's pretty good. But yeah, so if you don't mind just ripping up the steel of your blades, you know, especially on cheapo knives, you don't want to go run a spider coat through this thing probably, unless you're crazy. No, something like this I believe is great, but you know, there's another thing you can do too. If you're like, well, everyone's bullying me at school for using a pull-through sharpener, you can step up a little bit and get the, oh God, what is the brand? The Work Sharp Guided Field Sharpener Pro, which has a bunch of different things you can do. It has this coarse side, a fine side, and then it has a bunch of ceramic rods for, you can do coarse, fine, and hook mode. And then it has a leather strop on the back of it, which I don't really strop stuff that much. Maybe I'm the fool, but it just hasn't seemed to make much of a difference. You can feel free to lambast me in the comments over that one, I suppose. But I don't know. I don't feel like re-doling these to show you how sharp this can get them. But here's what I do is, like, I've done that same test using the file and everything like that in a previous video. You can go check it out. But then I went back to it and I went back and showed how you can use this thing to sharpen things. So basically what this is it gives you like a little angle to get, you know, a good cutting edge, and it's designed to be pretty idiot proof. You just go along. You want to like kind of follow the contour of the blade as you do it. So I kind of turn it as it goes further along. I'm not great at this, but here's what's cool is, like, even though I'm not great, it gets them pretty friggin' sharp. So makes me feel good, makes me, you know, be able to go back to the playground and be like, hey guys, check out how sharp this one is. I think someone commented on that video and was like, John, you watch yourself as you're sharpening those things, because I think when you're coming this way, you know, if it slips off or something, I could just fillet my entire thumb open. I don't know, it's probably best practice to, I got this weird like chainmail glove type thing, not the cool medieval type, but it's more like really thick fabric or something that I kind of used as I first started doing this, but maybe I should do it again. I don't know. I just don't know. So I do that fine side, and then I hop over here also to the fine side, because I figure I want this to have a fine edge, not a coarse edge. That's just a stupid joke. I know it's different. I know you do the coarse one to get more of a... Actually, you know, I don't really know. So my logic could be perfectly... it could be correct. You know, sometimes you just got to go with your gut on these things, and it's better than, you know, the years of research people have done. So truly, doing something like that, it doesn't take long to do, honestly. You can go into a meditative state. You're not going to lose as much metal as you would with something like this. And you kind of, you know, once you do this long enough, you start realizing like, oh, this is what the angle is like to be able to do this. And you can honestly like move on to better sharpening devices. But if you truly hate sharpening, you know, you can just stick with that. Or again, replace the entire blade, willy-nilly, what have you. And now, let's test this out with the Work Sharp. That looks like a flat piece. Oh yeah, oh my god. So, just what I did there, this thing is, it's bonkers now. It's almost scary. Not to me, but to those who might see me wielding this bad boy. Oh boy. Wow. Goodness gracious. Bodacious. Okay, yeah, so that kind of concludes my video. I just felt like showing off ways you can make sure you always have something sharp. I guess from going from least work to most work, and that is use that as medium work, that as most work, and replaceable blades as the least work, because you just replace them. I hope this helped you, or at least, I don't know, gave you something to watch for 10 minutes or so. I love you guys. Thank you all for watching. I really appreciate it. We have some exciting stuff coming up too, so stay tuned for future videos. Go ahead and like and subscribe, and you'll be able to see them when they appear. We have some cool stuff from Roxxon and some cool things that I found in my little searches. But anyway, I've rambled on far too long. I'll let you go back to your day. Again, never forget, I love you. Goodbye.